Right, it's the 17th of July and I'm at Holmpton. I've had to just climb down these cliffs, but down there I've got people who are ever so nice help me get down the cliff behind me, but obviously I'm still a bit nervous talking to a camera. But they're ever so nice. The chap, the man, there's a man and wife, and he's a geologist, and he helped me get down the cliff. Not through geology, just by giving me a helping hand, which is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. I started off at Easington. I was going to fish at Easington, but it was absolutely rammed. There's no gaps on the beach and I didn't want to walk all the way down. But then the walk I've had to get to here was a lot worse than at Easington, but never mind. I've got one rod out, fishing multiplier rods, and I cocked the first cast up, it went low and left, and the second one might go low and left, but after that it should be alright. But yeah, this is where we're at. The chap fishing right down there. It's rather sunny and I've forgotten my hat. And down there, right down at the end there, is what's known as Poo Pipe, which I've heard about Poo Pipe before, but on the World Sea Fishing and stuff like that, you know, forums, that's the word. Yeah, so I'm going to get the next rod put together. I think high tide's about 5.5 metres. I might get pushed off the beach and have to fish on the cliff. There is boulders that fall down here, look. That must have come down from probably there. So you've got to be a little bit careful, I presume. Apparently there's a gully out here, probably about 20-30 yards, and that's the deepest bit, and then after that it gets shallower, about 3-4 foot deep. So it's not a deep place, you don't need it deep, do you? So yeah, I'm going to get my other rod set up now. Well, I don't know what happened there. I set the rod up, put the camera down, set the rod up, and the camera went off. So I don't think I've changed any of the settings. But yeah, you didn't see me putting a rod together, but no bad miss at that, is there? So setting rods out, and as predicted, I casted it low and left. So hopefully from now on I shall get me self-synchronized, if you want to call it that. It's not swimming, is it? Get myself synchronized with my cast. But there, he told me not to cast out too far anyhow, because it's there's a gully there. I'm probably in the right place anyhow. It's 2:15. High tide is at 3:30. So we've got another 1.5 hours for this to come up. I'm going to go down and have a word with the chap down there in a minute, because he's only fishing one rod, and I'm wondering whether this is a one fish rod venue, which would have made it a lot easier coming here, because it was hard work carrying all my gear and my shoulders were burning. So I've got to bait another rig up and get another rig ready. What am I using? I've got some 6-0 hooks on there, but before you say bloody hell how big they are, they're about the size of a 2-0. Mustard hooks, their sizes are a lot smaller than other people's, and by the time the hook's sticking out of the bait there ain't a lot showing. So I think they're alright, and I quite like them. They're offset, they're mustard big guns. So I've got my big bait on that out further, even though it went low and left, and I've got a prawn on that. I've had some advice, and I was thinking about it, and then I spoke to Lee on Facebook, and he caught a hound last night on squid, but he then said to me, so I was bringing the squid, which I have anyhow, but he said the person next to him, 50 yards away probably, he caught 11 smooth hounds on prawn. So as soon as I read that, I was at Morrison's buying 3 tubs of prawns for a tenner. They are massive. If my wife knew I was fishing with prawns like that, she would go mad, because we don't even eat prawns like that, let alone fish with them. But what I'll do is I'll go to Morrison's tomorrow and we'll buy 3 more packs and we'll have a barbecue, because they're big enough not to fall through the bloody mesh on them barbie. Yeah, I'll show you them. Because I want to see if this camera turns off again. It's still recording. Right, so here's my bait today. These are the prawns. Look. Can you see them? They are huge. Massive. I've got some cockles, which I'm doubling up with some squid on some small hooks. I was gonna go and get some ragworm, but time drifted away, and I then decided to get these prawns like I just said. So that's the new bait for today, prawn. I've remembered my mackerel today, it's still frozen. I've got some black lug, I've got a bluey, some more squid there, squid. So that's the bait for today. Keep that nice and cool. I'll do that up in a minute. And yeah, got me bucket of water, clean me hands, and revive any fish that I might catch. But yeah, it's a nice place. Is that still recording? I must have turned the camera off. So yeah, like I say, poo pipe is down there, and this is the Holderness coast at Holmpton. Now apparently you get cut off down there. You get cut off by the water where I am. And down there where you see the spit of sand coming out, you can get cut off from there because the water comes up to the cliff. You've got these cliffs there. I'll do a 360 degree. These are the cliffs that you climb down. They are treacherous. There's only certain places you can get down. One being down there and further down. But obviously if you climb down the other side of that, you aren't going to get cut out off on that sand. But there's people fishing down there already. And then we come round. Well, I can't believe I'm fishing here. I wouldn't have been fishing if I hadn't met the couple down there. I wouldn't have been fishing here. I would have carried on to Wivensea. I know I would, and I'd have fished one of the beaches in Wivensea. There's nothing wrong with that, Holderness coast. But I just wanted to be somewhere different. And I know I've fished Easington before, but it is nice. But I've got to Easington and it's absolutely rammed. Like 40 feet between each fisherman. And that's no good for my low and left cast at the start, is it? Well, got some sunglasses in the end. The main thing is they keep the sun out of my eyes, but I can't see because I need reading glasses. So this is the new rig because I want to pull that first cast in to see if there's any bait on it. Stick a prawn on, I think. Cut this one. And there we have it. Oh dear. Zip this bag back up. It's that warm. It's not hot, but it is warm. And got to keep the bait as best you can, haven't you? It's very quiet down there. I expect it gets busy sometimes. But apparently most people go to other places that have got easier access, so probably catch a fish from there as well. I don't know. There's somewhere different, isn't it? You don't just come fishing to catch fish, do you? Or to use the correct bait. Now one of me, I think he is a subscriber as well, I think. He also follows me on Facebook. He's told me to use shrimp, stop using squid, don't catch on squid. But my mate caught a hound last night on squid. Other people catch hounds on squid, but then the bloke next door to him, as I said earlier, caught 11 hounds, whereas my mate only caught one. And the bloke who caught 11 hounds was on prawn, and my friend Lee was on squid. So there might be something in it. So I'm not one to say be stuck in the mud. I do sometimes get stuck in a rut, but then don't we all? But yeah, so like I said, I went out today and bought a load of prawns. So we'll give them a go for the next few weeks. See what we catch, don't we? These sunglasses are good. It's just that nothing's in focus properly. I wonder, I might have to go get some prescription sunglasses, but I don't even think the opticians are open yet, are they, because of this lurgy. Yeah, so again, fishing the M Sport Elite Power Icon rods. They're multiplying rods. I expect you could use a fixed spool on it as well. They cast 4 to 7 ounce. I expect you could throw an 8 ounce weight out. But obviously you won't be banging it out. If you wanted to fish and you had the whole bottom and you need an 8 ounce weight, I expect you could chuck that a few yards. Well, I will be. I wouldn't advise anyone else to do it. It's up to you whether you do it. But me, I'll do it. If it breaks, you just have to get another rod done. I've got them coupled up with my Pen 525 Mag 3s. I've also got my green Mag Elites. But I've left them in the van because I had to carry my box. So yeah, I'm going to give them an airing soon. I haven't used them for 16, 17 years, 15 years at least. Like I say, high tide is about 5.5 metres and high tide is at 3:30, which is in about an hour's time, hour and 10 minutes. Quite therapeutic here, isn't it? It's very relaxing. Probably the calmest I've had it on the beach. Well, I should get this one baited up. It's come back, hasn't been touched. Look. I'll just put a bit more on, add to it. So what that shows to me, or it could mean, is that there's no crabs out there, which could mean that there's no crabs out there because they've all buggered off because the smooth hounds are here. But then again, I ain't had a smooth hound either, so they're not here either. So let's keep going on, get that rig baited up, and just keep an eye on these rod tips. I think I'm gonna have a sandwich and a cup of coffee. Well, sit rep. It's 4 o'clock. All bar a minute. Sweating. There is no action on them rods at all. I've already been told by some chap on Facebook that talks to me that there's nothing doing there. How people know what's fish and what, I haven't got a clue. But perhaps that's what makes other people better fishermen and able to catch. The chap that I'm fishing with next to me, ever so nice, he's been here 8 times and caught 8 times, but the last time he came here he blanked, and he says it's not looking good for this time either. So rods just, I'm just looking at the rods. Rods just aren't doing anything. But it is nice. So the tide is going out. He said that the tide goes out about 100 yards. So I'll be walking out again to see. But yeah, it is clear. But by God, it's nice standing in the water because it makes your feet nice and cool. But it's pretty, isn't it? Where does that come from? Look at that dog go up there. I saw dog footprints earlier down there. He must be the culprit. He must be walking with his owner up top. Yeah, it's got 2 owners up there. Well, I wish I could get up that cliff as quick as that, and look as agile as well. But I don't think so. I think the box will make me look like a snail, and then I'll go as quick as a snail. So yeah. Yeah, so we're trying our best, aren't we? I'm using prawn now. You've seen it. But the trouble is, the baits aren't even disappearing. They're coming back untouched, which I suppose is a good thing. If you're Graham off TA Fishing, because he'd just reuse them. But and I'm tempted to reuse them, but obviously you lose the scent, don't you? I'm going to put a bit of squid on that, I think. Yeah, I'm going to put a bit of squid on that prawn and bait elastic it on. Right, well I'll be back in a bit when I've got something to show you. We're going to get a fish today. We got a fish last time, so I suppose I've already caught a fish in the last video, so I expect these next 3 or 4 trips I'm going to blank. But yeah, it's amazing how some people know when's a good time to fish certain places. I don't know whether it's a case of going on some forums and having a look, but whenever I go on some forums on Facebook, let's say, Yeah, matey boy next to me, he's caught a flounder. I think I'm going to put out some small hooks. Let's get a flounder. So we ain't got a blank. Wouldn't it be great to have 2 videos where I don't blank? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a small hook rig out now. I've got some with size 2 hooks. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to rip that prawn off there and put a fresh one on for the next one. We're going to keep banging out fresh prawns. So yeah, I'll bring you back in a minute. I won't bring you back. I'll be back in a bit with a fish to show you. And we're going to change track now because it's been very quiet. Come on, I've set them brakes. Let's go for a walk along this beach and explore it, shall we? If any fish go on there, they're brand new hooks, they should hook themselves. If they don't hook themselves, then I ain't going to catch. But I'm falling asleep on that box. I got a good night's sleep last night. Started off on the sofa, you know, lager, getting fatter, and watching YouTube, and then fell asleep. And woke up at 3. I spoke to Lee because I wanted to know if he was still catching. Saw he'd caught a fish, so congratulated him. And went to bed. And woke up in the morning. I was absolutely knackered, absolutely buggered. And I normally get up and I'm all right, but I was tired. That's every time. Last week when I went to, because it was last Friday, a week ago, I was at Sutton-on-Sea catching a bass, and yeah, sorry about that. Get caught in bass. Where was I going with that bit of conversation? Last week I caught the bass. Why did I go on to that? Oh, and 2 pairs. Anyhow, yeah, last week I caught a bass and this week I'm here. That don't make any sense, does it? It's because I saw this air. You see this air? This bit air, that's where I looked at first for getting down. And you could get down, but the bit at the top is taller than me. And it's hard work once you shimmy down that to then get your bait box and everything else, because I can't reach it. So that's why I had to go further down, but this is the cliffs. And they're not terribly high. What, 10, 20, 35, 40, 35, 40 feet high. The same as the metal container in it on its end. You can't get down that bit. This bit here is even worse. It's quite spectacular, isn't it? The bit right down there that's really tall, where my finger is there underneath, that's the bit where the chap said you can get down there. I went and looked at it and thought, I ain't going down there. Bloody balmy. But yeah, I expect if the fish were in, there'd be plenty of people down there, wouldn't there? I reckon down that way there might be a way down. I shall have a look. When I go back, I shall have a look. The reason I didn't go that way to start with was because there was a bit about about 3 foot, 4 foot, and I just didn't want to jump down because jumping at 52 hurts. So wind's gone now anyhow, the gusty wind. And then obviously that way, from where I come down, if I'd carried on walking 300 or 400 more yards, there's a bit to get down there, and it's only about 20 foot to the beach, so it's easier to get down. But my shoulders were burning with my fishing box, and I couldn't be asked to go any further to make it easier, so I clambered down. But it's easy enough to get down, it ain't hard. Wouldn't it be nice if I saw some bass in there? It's very clear. Does cool your feet down walking in the water in wellies. Lovely. It's a bit hot today, and I only brought so much water. I didn't bring my spare bottle of water because I've never needed it. But it's quite hot today, and today I could do with having it, because I'm having to ration me water now. Ooh. That nearly went in me boot. Look at that, bit of green granite. I normally collect a stone or a shell, something, each place I go. And that's what I got. green granite. Oh. So yeah, so I've shown you the cliffs now, haven't I? Seen the water. Certainly seen enough of me. Nothing yet. Got lugworm out at the minute. Tipped the squid. Prior to that, I had prawn out. I've got another prawn baited up. So at the minute I've got size 2 hooks out there. I've got a 2-hook flapper out there with size 2 hooks on. And baited up with lugworm and tip with squid. And on the other one I've got 2 hooks, but they aren't, again, they're crab hooks. They're offset, so that should enhance a bite if I get a bite. But they aren't 2 hooks of what I would use wintertime of my old Aberdeen hooks. They are a lot smaller. I would say they're probably a size 1. So perhaps I should just tell you I've got a size 1 hook on at the minute. And they're offset crab hooks. And they're baited up with mussel squid elasticated on. Because the chap down there has caught a flounder. Only a small one, but he caught a flounder. That just saves the blank, doesn't it? My trousers are wet where the water got me. Yeah, it just saves the blank. You know, don't want a blank. So I've got 2 scratching rigs out there now. 1 up, 1 down, and just a 2-hook flapper, both up. And smaller hooks on. Got myself a flounder. Well, where's all the excitement gone? There you go. See him? Gonna get him unhooked. I'll leave the camera on. Right, Billy. There's the hook. Got the hook, Billy. It's not. Need a breather. I'll get this unhooked and then get it released. Right, so there he is. One little flounder. I'm going to leave him in the bucket to recover, and then I'm going to release him. So we're in the blank. We've caught ourselves a flounder. Got the hook out. Nice size. What's that, about 10 inch? He's had a traumatic time. Look at his mouth going. We'll let him recover for a few minutes before I return him back. But brilliant. Didn't think I was going to catch, but changed my rigs and I caught that. Yeah, he's now flipping around, splashing around. Just splashed all over my seat, bugger. Yeah, so yeah, these are the size hooks that I've used. They aren't huge, are they? They're either 2 or 3. But yeah, let's get him baited up, retied, and let's get on. He's jumping around in here. Look, he's picking up. See? Well, Billy, I used fish ooze unhooking method on that, and I thought it was on the white side of the fish, the hook, and it hook wouldn't pull out, but it was on the other side. I always get it mixed up. Billy just goes and do it straight away, doesn't he? But I did it and got it out, kept putting him in the water so he kept having a breathe, and yeah, he's now recovering, jumping around. He's going to want to go for freedom soon. Right, let's see if he releases alright. I'll get some new water. Right. Oh. Not in my wellies this time. It's not looking good, is it? He's settled down, he's gone. Get some more water in a minute. Pop down to see the chap, I think, have a word with him. One flounder. Released. Well, tide's going out now. The chap that I was talking to and helped me down the cliff and show me where to go, they've gone home now. So we've got this sandbank here, and the gully the chap was telling me about, I misunderstood him. It's right in front of where the beach goes down. There's a gully. And I should have just been chucking it out 10-15 yards. But there, you don't know, do you? So now we're whacking it out there. About 120 yards, maybe a bit more. Yeah, it will be more. It'll be about 130 yards. So it isn't too bad. That's just an easy cast or Brighton cast, whatever you want to call it. It's just an off the ground cast under the rod. Once I've got used to this, and I actually stop here and not come down there, once I've got it right, then I should start pendulum. But I get it out far enough, like that. I'm using the multiplier reel, which is relaxing, as long as you don't bird nest it. Enjoy myself. I've caught a fish, I've caught a flounder. Deep hooked, got the hook out, returned it, flounder's gone. There is no flounder. He is alive, fishing out, swimming around out there. So now what will catch his mother? Get a big one. It's absolutely fantastic when you come fishing and you catch a fish to avoid the blank. It was a long while coming. I got here at 2 o'clock, 20 past 2. And it's now 18:45. Oh. Is this still on? Right, I've been asked to one of my subscribers, Lisa H from Lincolnshire. Lisa goes fishing. She's a subscriber of mine. She always comments. She's had her battles from what I read last night, but she's getting better from it, so that's a good thing. And she goes fishing with her husband. Her and husband goes fishing. She goes through Immingham and Hut Off and obviously other places, I don't know. But it's her birthday, and this is me just saying, giving a shout out of her happy birthday. The only problem is that when I say happy birthday Lisa H from Lincolnshire, I'm not going to say how old you are. I'll just say, well, I ain't going to say how old you are because that's rude to say how old a woman is, isn't it? So yeah, it's her birthday on the 28th of July. So happy birthday Lisa. Now the only problem is when this goes up, your birthday would have been and gone. So I'll ask Tom to stick something up on a video before your birthday as well, just to say happy birthday. So anyhow, happy birthday Lisa, and hope you enjoy many more turbots and other fish with you and your husband in the future. So yeah, happy birthday and all the best. Now where are these fish? We've got someone walking about up the cliff. They're probably looking at me into this, talking to this, thinking I'm a right idiot. So now I have moved. I was over there, literally there under my finger, and I've moved down to here and there. See where that tyre is on the beach? That's the part of the cliff you go up. So yeah, I've moved from there over here, put my gear there, and I've walked down the beach because tide's going out. So it is quite shallow here. And literally, where that beach drops down to where those rocks are, that's where the gully is. And if you don't fish that gully, you can obviously fish on top of this sandbank, or you can fish over the sandbank like what I've been doing. It'll be interesting as the tide go out to see what the beach is like, because like I say, I've never been there before. I think I've caught glimpses on Sea Angling Adventures of people fishing there on the EOBC. Yeah, certainly caught glimpses of what this cliff line's like. I knew what it was like. I'd also like to give shout out, I've already done it once, but shout out for Danny O. I think if you put Danny O fishing in on the search engine on YouTube, his channel will come up, because if you just put Danny O in, his channel don't come up. You get loads of Danny's come up. But if you put Danny O and then put in fishing to narrow it down a bit, you'll get his channel up. He only does short videos, but they're edited ever so well, and go along to his channel and subscribe. It's free, you know, as they say in Norfolk, it's free. Go along and watch his videos. He videos with his with Amy, and he's got some nice rods and reels. Go subscribe to him, because he's not got a lot of subscribers, and his channel is very good. His editing is very good, and he deserves more subscribers. But I think it's whenever I put, because I watch a lot of, so I'm going off on track now, just go along to Danny O and put in fishing, find his channel and subscribe to him and give him some more subscribers, because it's a good channel to watch and he's a nice bloke. And he goes fishing with Amy, and when she can make it, and they catch a lot of fish, catch a lot more fish than me. So yeah, don't stop watching my channel, like, but go along to Danny's channel. That went on a bit, didn't it? Christ almighty. Oh, I'm thinking about that walk back up that cliff all the way along. Right, Lee, after I spoke to you on Facebook and you told me you caught a hound off squid, someone else told me on Facebook to use prawns, and I understood it, but I didn't really want to change. And then when I saw your message on Facebook that the bloke next to you had caught 11 hounds on prawn, within 2 seconds I was at Morrison's buying some prawns. Now I should elasticate that to that. I might do that actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that. But there, that's it. So a pulley dropper, 5 ounce weight, pennel rig. When I get back to the van, I'm going to drink so much water. I think it's Mally. I'm not very good with names, so I apologise now. I've already apologised to Colin Taylor last week because I called him Colin the Cod, or Squid. There was someone else called Squid. I think it was Tony the Squid. I hadn't heard from Tony the Squid for a long while, and I got him muddled up with Colin Taylor. I don't know why. And I don't know how Cod come out. Is there someone called Cod? I think there's someone called Codfather. Oh. Anyhow, Mally on Facebook. Using the prawns, mate. Using the prawns. Taking your advice. And you also confirmed it when Lee told me about how many hounds he caught next to him. Straight to Morrison's. 3 packs of prawns. Not cooked. King prawns. £10. You can do the maths with that, can't you? Just over £3. And you get 10 prawns in a punnet. So I've got 30 prawns. I've bagged them up into 10 prawns for a fishing session. But I cut them in half, and you can cut bits off and put them on the hooks. I'm gonna have to move further down there. That don't look far, does it? What one? 10, 20, 30. It's about 40. It's about 40 paces. So what's that? That's probably about 32 yards. So it's probably 32 yards from here to the water. Probably about 26 yards. Right, I'm going to be back in a bit. I've got 2 rigs out there with small hooks on, small baits on. Nice to get a second flounder. And then I've got the big big prawn on the barbie for that elusive smooth-hound or bass that might be out there. I doubt if there'll be many bass out there. Let's hope it's a smooth-hound. I never caught one. Dogfish would be nice. Love to catch a dogfish. So let's hope for that. Sod the smooth-hounds. Let's catch a dogfish if there's any out there. Well, the good thing is there's still bait on the hooks, so at least it's out there still fishing. That was nice. Well, got a big prawn out there. That was a good cast. It's gone 120-30 yards. I think if I lay, when I start getting used to that, because whenever I come, the first 2 or 3 casts are low and left. Once I get to the point where I'm casting them perfect, off the ground, under the rod, I'll move it out 90 degrees to the rod and then do a pendulum, do a off the ground cast like that, and see if that gets any more power into it, because that's the next stage. But yeah, you can knock it out 120 yards, 130 yards. It's plenty far enough, really. Well, I would say that because that's where I'm casting to, isn't it? Now, I don't know if you can see this here, but this water, because of the poo pipe, it's coming down here. It's gone out to here. So this sand here has built up on this beach, and it's shallower here because of that poo pipe, I believe. I can only guess, because you've got all that rocks and mud out there. I think it's mud, what I've been told. So this is built up here, and then as you go down here, as you can see, it curves around and the water goes back into the shore. So it's deeper over there. That's the best place to fish, because that's deeper water. It's closer into the beach. Now it might be shallow, but obviously when the tide comes in, it'll be deeper there than what it would be here because of this sandbank. I don't know if you can pick the curve up of this sandbank here, but it is quite high. And I guess it's to do with this mud and rocks that go out there because of the poo pipe, what they call it. There's a sewage plant down there. So I guess that has created this sandbank here. But it's alright, I ain't blanked ever. I've caught a flounder. Be nice to get another one. I've got a bait out there for a hound or a bass or anything else that wants it. When you cast them prawns in, you can see on the surface a scent trail. As the prawn goes in, it's like a 2-3 metre round disc of prawn juice, I guess. And then that'll go all the way down to the sea bottom, to seabed, which isn't fast, probably only about 2 or 3 foot deep. Anyhow, I'll be back in a bit. I'm going to bait that hook up now, put some more lug on it, and I'm going to put all my cockles on it as well, mussels on it. I'm going to put all my mussels on it, get rid of them, so I ain't got to take them on. Right, I'll be back in a bit. I would say I don't think much of these prawns, but like you say, whatever bait you use, the fish have got to be out there, haven't they? It don't matter whether you've got the best king rag in the world, the best lugworm, the best yellowtails, yeah, squid, black lug, oil black lug, you name it, even shrimps. If you've got the best bait, you still need them fish out there. But we're in it to win it. Lesson learnt there. I put a longer drop on it then and it felt different. Now I don't know, by putting a longer drop that cast don't work so well, but with a longer drop on it I'd finished the cast and the bloody weight weren't off the floor. Didn't go out as far either. Out far enough, it must be out 100 yards. Well, that prawn still stunk of prawn, so it hasn't lost its smell. The head's gone, it got eaten, but I've tipped it off with squid just to freshen it up a bit. I'm only going to be here in another hour. I've got a big huge squid out on that one. I've got a big, I'm so used to using squid in it. I said I've got a big huge shrimp on the other rod, and obviously I've got 2 hook flatter on the other. I don't know if other people have this problem, but when you fish 2 rods you end up forgetting which rod you cast out last and get muddled up. I've bought a red coat. Don't know what it is with red, but I keep wearing red a lot for some reason. I don't wear red when I'm out, but fishing, I like red when I'm fishing. And it's getting a bit nippy now. It's not, I don't think it is cold. It's just that the sun's gone in. It's been baking hot all day. Forgot my bloody hat. I think I'm sunburnt. If I've got any white splodges on my head, it's not flaky skin. It's flaky skin. It's suntan oil. Can't see to rub it in, can I? Right, I've got my new jacket on. And just remember, it's brand new. And it's very red. And I like red. And it's like a judo suit. You have to wash it for it to fit you, but it fits now, really. It's what it is. It's a smock from Titan. And it's too hot to have a hoodie on. But this is being cotton. It's all right. The wind's not getting through, so it's not chilling me because I'm still a bit sweaty. And when the sun goes in, it gets cold. And it's ideal. And it's made in British sizes, so it's not made in Chinese sizes. So you buy a large and it fits. You don't have to buy a double XL from like you do from China for it to be nearly fitting. But once it gets plenty of fish guts on it and I wash it, it'll fade, and it'll also shrink a bit. Absolutely lifeless, them rod tips. It's weird because it's like a mill pond. There's no movement on the rods. So whereas you used to the rods bouncing around because there's surf, or you're at the river Humber and it's banging about, it's windy. Because there's very little, well, because there's no wind at all now. The rods aren't moving. The line isn't moving. Nothing's going on the hooks at the minute. I'm not fussed. I've caught my fish. It's not been a blank. I've been rewarded by the fishing gods. It was deep hooked, so I got the hook out, and fish has returned fine. So I'm chuffed about all of that. So I ain't fussed now. It'd be nice to catch more than one fish, but I've caught a fish. It hasn't been a blank, and I've enjoyed myself. It's been a great day. Head's burnt, I think. Forgot my hat. Need to put that on my blackboard in the garage for things not to forget. So yeah, it's been a great day. So I've got a prawn there which I baited up with a bit of squid. I'm going to chuck that out. When I pull in one of these rods, I shall put the rig away and pull in the next rod and bait. You'll see that, and then I'll bring you. I'll come back on if I catch a fish after that. But I'm going to say now, thank you to all my subscribers, especially the old ones, new ones, well, all of you. You're all subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. I don't know what you see in my channel to watch. I ain't like Fish Locker where he's yanking out fish after fish and telling you about this, that and the other, or smash fishing or any of them. I ain't like channels like them. For one, I'm very sparse with fish, whereas they're always catching fish. And many other channels, Fish Hunter he always catches. And Danny O, go check Danny O out. He catches all the time. Catch some good fish and all, especially dogfish. He's good at catching them. Wish I could catch one. So yeah, I don't know what you see in the channel. I'm grateful for whatever you do see in the channel. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you viewing and everything else. Please subscribe to this channel if you like it. Please comment, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, ring the bell for all notifications, and please share my videos on whatever network, Facebook, whatever. You put a lot of effort in, don't you? And Tom puts even more effort in. I mean, my effort is driving there, getting wound up, trying not to get a ticket, buy the bait, do the fishing which you enjoy. So that's all the stuff that I enjoy. Tom enjoys editing, but you know, it's a long old job to edit a video, especially if there's length that our videos are. So yeah, if you could share on share my videos around to other people. The trouble is with once you get across through Hull is I've hit the wrong time because they've gritting all the roads, so there's 20-mile-an-hour signs everywhere for mile after mile after mile. They must have got such a contract of the government to regrit all the roads. They're doing them all in one go. But you've got 40s and 30s. It's terrible. And then these 20s. Well, there ain't anyone doing 20 apart from me. Well, I'm doing 25. It's only an advisory, isn't it? And all the stones are gone off the road anyhow. Oh. So yeah, I'm going to reel both these in, put one rig away, toss out the big prawn, and rebait the small hooks and see if there's any more small fish scratch around. Got myself a dab. Caught myself a dab. It's probably sizable, to be honest. Probably take it home and eat it, but I'm not gonna. But she's in there. See it? Nice little dab. That's now 2 fish. 2 fish, no blank, definitely no blank now. That's 2 fish. That's 2 times I've been fishing and I've caught both times. Can't believe it, can't believe it. Right, well I'm going to get my forceps and do the Billy Fisho's removal of hook, hopefully. If not, I'll have to cut it off, it swallowed it down. So, and it's only the mustard little hooks, so they should rot out. Don't know if I'll get it out, but we'll see. Let's, I'm going. See you in a bit. There's the dab. And the hook's out. And I used Billy's Fisho's method of going through the gill. The hook come out dead easy, popped it through its mouth, done. Absolutely brilliant. I have caught 2 fish in 1 trip. Yeah. Now it might not be a great smooth hound, and it also might not be a huge great big bass, but I couldn't care less. That is a lovely little dab, and she's going back and she's going to enjoy it. Get a picture and then I'll do a show of it going back probably. If you aren't watching your rod when a fish like that take the bite, I don't think you'd ever see it. Come on, you little girl. They stick to the bottom, don't they? Ah, I've got you. I was going to bring me measure down. I would say that's about, I don't know, 8 inch, 9 inch. Chuffed to bits. I ain't dancing about though, am I? I think it's because it's so frustrating at Immingham sometimes when you get a fish. It's like, ooh, and I've already had one fish. I couldn't. You know, I am a little bit sensible when there's people around. Don't look like a complete utter lemon, do I? But I'm right chuffed. Got a lovely little dab, flounder. Yeah, we're fishing for smooth hound, but we ain't got one, have we? Right. You're up the wrong way, my girl. There she go. Because even though you're in a bucket of water, there she is. Look. She could have been on that hook for quite a while, you see, and she'd have been getting tired out there. So it takes them a while to get recovered, even though you put them in a bucket of water, which keeps them alive. You know, it isn't 100% full of oxygen, is it? Because obviously it's been a while, but she's gone now. She's gone now. This wave will tell. Yeah, she's gone. You know, so they're in that water. I like getting them in the water, in the bucket, and then getting them in that water. And if they're struggling, I don't like watching them. I'll then just chuck them out a bit further to get them out of the waves, because they're a bit dazed, aren't they? They're a bit tired. If they've been on a hook, you know, you'll see that bite initially, but then once it's on there, it just sits there, doesn't it? And I expect it gets tired out. I'd like to have that done to them. So you just got to do what you can do. I ain't going to be fishing for long now. I was only coming here to fish 3 hours up, which ended to be two and a half, 2 hours up, and 2 or 3 hours down, and that was it. But I fished the tide all the way down to virtually low water, but because I've caught the flounder late on in the session, it spurred me on, and now I've caught the dab. But the dab ain't going to spur me on to walk all this way back, all the way up there, from all the way down there. It's not going to do it, because one, I haven't got no lights to assist in filming on the beach, because I don't just like filming my face. I like to actually get something else in, like you're now picking up stuff around behind me. That light is in the van. I should have brought one light with me, but if I'd brought it, I'd have been staying here until tide's coming up. But 9:30, high tide will be early hours of the morning, and I don't want another late Friday, early Saturday morning job, because Saturday for me is then buggered. I'm falling asleep everywhere. So these are the last two. I'm going to reel these in. I shall switch this back on and show you if I catch. I should probably switch it on to show reeling it in. Trying to see that little tiny bite if you get a dab before, and then bring it in. So yeah. Forgot what I was going to say now. But that's what you get with me. Anyhow, I've got a head torch, just ain't got a light to assist me in filming, so don't matter if I fish into the dark a bit, but I can't fish here during the dark. And tomorrow, I don't want it to go into tomorrow. I mean, I should stay here for the tide coming up, and see the sunrise, really, because it's a trek here, and once you're here you might as well stop, ain't you? And that's what I am going to do on nights like this where it's beautiful. But I've got it in my head, I've got a job to do tomorrow for an old boy's 91, and I cut his edge for him, so I want to go and get there to do that for him. And I might go out Sunday and take the wife out Sunday, but shoot a rod in the back, hush hush, you know. And I might come along this coast again and go down to Tunstall and see what's happening. Or I could go to Bridlington and take some feathers, couldn't I? See if there's any mackerel about. But there's that many people doing that there. That just, I don't know if I want to be around them. No, I don't want to be around them, because I've got the lurgy, so that's ruled that out. There's a chap fishing down there. There was a chap fishing down there, but he's gone now. I expect he wants more than a flounder and a dab. But quid's in, eh? Isn't it exciting? And both of them were deep hooked, and I got them both out. So thank you very much, Billy. You're a lifesaver, and it's always best to return a fish swimming away, isn't it? So I'll be back in a bit. Sun is setting. Well, the crabs have turned up on that one. That big prawn that I sent out. That's just got tangled around the tripod. Look, why can't I catch a smooth hand as easy as I can catch a bait bag? Yeah, the shrimp is gone. So there's been no crabs all day. I've even moaned about not being any crabs. Unbelievable. Now they're back. Possibly because the tide is probably getting near the point where it's at its lowest. And they might be thinking, come on, let's get out. Leave the other rod out for a few more minutes really before I bring it in, just in case there's a fish on it. So I'll be back in a bit. I'm still here, Tom. Nice. I've chucked the other rod out. I've chucked the other rod back out with a prawn on it because I saw fish swimming out there and they were making waves on the water and they were going around in circles and chasing around. So there was something out there, and I've got a bite on that rod. Now that's nodded 4 times now. I don't know how many times you have to leave it to make sure you get a flatfish on it. I've just chucked that other rod out of a prawn on just to see if there. I think that was definitely a fish that came in, but I think it was just coming in, having a look, and then buggered off. It could be down there, out to Holland by now. I don't know. So I just chucked a full prawn out there just to see if there was out. Didn't chuck it far. I chucked it to where the movement in the water was. Now I've had 4 or 5 bites on this right hand rod, and now there's nothing, so feels like bite after bite I would stay. I don't think I'd bother doing that garden. Let's see what we've got on here. Got another dab. Saw the bite. It bit 4 or 5 times. So I'm chuffed with that. Come on, little fella. In you go. Got another one. Not as big as the last. Little dab. Pretty little thing. Splashing about. He wants to come out. He wants to go back in that ocean. Nicely hooked. Need a towel. Slippery little suckers they are. There you go. Well, it's getting dark now. I ought to be packing up and going home, but catching fish. I had planned on doing this chap's garden, and I haven't got main lights that I always have with me when I beach fish, because I had to carry everything. So I need to sort myself out for now. I know what it's like coming here, because I've never been to a place like this. Now I know what it's like. I know what I need to bring, and that is more water and 2, a light for night time. And what I shall do is I shall plan this to come fishing here on a low tide. I don't know what you'll see of this. He's swimming about in there, look. He's happy as Larry, he is. Go on, get on the right way, you silly little bugger. That way up. I know you want to go, don't you? He's going. Well, go on then. That's it. He'll be in this bucket again. Do I have another cast? Shall I have another cast? Of course, this video's gone on a long time, Tom. I'm ever so sorry. I've got to film the fish though, mate, ain't I? Do you know what I mean? We've got to have the fish in. All that time during the day when there was nothing. But the water was very clear, and people said it needs to be soupy. But all these footprints up and down this beach. I must have walked 2 miles. Gee. Well, do I bait that up and chuck it out one more while I'm just letting that prawn have a look? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I've got a fly on the thing. Come on, bugger off. Well, that's me done. I've fished. I'm back at the van, as you can see, and I've fished till 11 o'clock at night. So I fished from 2 in the afternoon till 11 o'clock. I fished to the tide all the way down, started coming up. I had a bite on the last flapper rig, and the bait had gone from the top hook, so it cleared it off the hook, and it was just one bite, so he must have been that accurate for taking the bait off. That was gone. So I reeled in the prawn was still on there, hadn't been touched, so whatever I saw swimming about out there had come and gone. It was as quick as that, and that's what it's like fishing. I think those big fish come in, investigate, and they're gone. If there's nothing there, they're gone. Bait wise, the most successful bait tonight was black lug and squid. That's what I caught all 3 of my fish on. The prawn, I'm excited about using the prawn, but the prawn didn't catch anything. But I shall persevere with it. I'm going to buy some more of it because there's people catching fish on prawn, so I should be able to. It's probably just a case of tying it onto the hooks better, baiting it up better. They are big prawns, but I want a big fish. So that's me done. That's it. It's over. See you later. Thanks everybody. Brilliant. Cheers. Bye. Now take the wife out Sunday, but shoot a rod in the back.